What's up people? Welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. And for my returning subscribers, welcome back again. Facts about Vasco da Gama Pillar in Malindi, Kenya. Vasco da Gama Pillar is one of the points of pride of Malindi, built by the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama in 1498. The Vasco da Gama Pillar is named after Vasco da Gama, one of the most famous and celebrated explorers of the Age of Discovery. Vasco da Gama Pillar is right at the shores of Coco Beach on Silversand Road. We went at noon, which with the sun can make you dehydrated, and advised you to hydrate a lot. It's shocking to know that the tides can get high to a point that the pillar is inaccessible at some times. There has been a concern about the water levels, and at the time of the visit, the walls surrounding the pillar looked new to protect the pillar from rising water levels. It was nothing less of a learning experience about the rich history of Malindi. The entrance fee is Ks 100 per person that you use to access the pillar, Portuguese Chapel, House of Chapel, and Malindi Museum with guides fees at Ks 500. History of Vasco da Gama Pillar. Vasco da Gama Pillar in Malindi, according to many people in the world history study, believes is a unique monument, and the circumstances that led to its erection ought to be a subject of study in a detailed manner. The pillar looks like a regular lighthouse, only that, unlike other lighthouses, the Vasco da Gama Pillar has no lights in it. It is believed, from historical accounts, that the Portuguese explorers were able to see the pillar while at sea as they approached the shores of Malindi. In other historical accounts, it is believed that the main intention of Vasco da Gama in putting up the pillar was to enable the Portuguese sailors to get a bearing on India. Through this account, it is believed that the Vasco da Gama Pillar played a very vital role in the navigation and trade between India and Portugal. One of the popular accounts, an account that has been supported by many historians, is that the Vasco da Gama Pillar was built as a symbol of appreciation for the hospitality shown to the Portuguese explorers by the Malindi rulers and the locals. The Portuguese Chapel. When Vasco da Gama first arrived in Kenya, he planned on settling in Mombasa, but the Mombasa Sheikh was hostile towards him and his team. Because of this, he and his team set out to Malindi, where they were welcomed by the Malindi Sheikh, who was in rivalry with the Mombasa Sheikh, face with hand over mouth. Considering that Malindi Old Town was predominantly Muslim, Vasco da Gama and his team had nowhere to worship. Together with his team they built this Portuguese chapel, which is also the oldest chapel in East Africa. 36 foreign sailors and Malindi pioneers are also buried in the chapel's compound. Where is Vasco da Gama Pillar located? Vasco da Gama Pillar is located on the seafront road along the beach in Sheila neighborhood. The pillar was first erected at the Sheikh's house, but later removed and re-erected where it is today. The Vasco da Gama Pillar and the cross are both made from original Portuguese limestone material. The Portuguese built it to give direction to those following the sea route to India. This antique was built about a century before Fort Jesus in Mombasa, making it one of the oldest European installations in East Africa. The monument has become the most renowned attraction site for both local and international tourists visiting Malindi. What did Vasco da Gama discover in Kenya? Da Gama's discovery of the sea route to India opened the way for an age of global imperialism and enabled the Portuguese to establish a long-lasting colonial empire along the way from Africa to Asia. What is the meaning of Vasco da Gama Pillar? Malindi. More impressive for what it represents, the genesis of the age of exploration, than the edifice itself. Erected by the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama as a navigational aid in 1498, the coral column is topped by a cross made of Lisbon stone, which almost certainly dates from the explorer's time. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Goodbye.